This is another bit of news that's a little bit closer to home. In one of the northeastern states, it's cold as hell, and it's very terrible. But Bangor Daily News reports Skowhegan School Board steps up security fearing anti-mask protests could become physical. Has anybody heard of violence at any of these school board protests? I heard about one man getting arrested because his daughter got raped or sexually assaulted in some way, and he didn't become physical, but he did get arrested when he was asked to leave, and an officer grabbed him by the shoulder. He didn't know that it was an officer, so he pulled his arm away, and he got arrested for resisting arrest, basically, and unlawful trespass. Skowhegan, Maine, School Board Administration District 54 in Skowhegan has upped security measures at a school board meeting because of enraged parents who have shown up to challenge the universal masking policy. Now, there's one thing about really, really spineless people, especially the kind of people that would be on a school board. They think disagreements is an act of aggression. Like, you can't have opposing viewpoints. You have to think exactly the way they think. And that's just not how the world works. And people are getting really fed up with it, especially people in Maine. You do not want to piss off people in Maine. Officers from Skowhegan Police Department greeted meetings attendees with weapon detecting wands as they enter the board meetings at the school Thursday night. Maine school boards have come under extreme scrutiny as they've made decisions about masking and vaccination throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Because anti-maskers have grown rowdier and spewed threats of board members over the months, school districts fear protests could become physical or aggressive. In consultation with the police, SAD 54 boosted security based on social media posts from Nick Blanchard, a right-wing activist and Waterville resident who sometimes attends school board meetings. Superintendent John Moody said Friday in one video, Blanchard said that he and others would attend the Skowhegan meeting to defend a parent who was served with a trespassing notice in December. Part of the video shows Blanchard using a firearm and a weapon that appears to be a bulletproof vest. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. Somebody said that there were pictures. I didn't see it. Spent like an hour looking for it. And if you're going to a school with anything like that, there's proof of it, he would have been arrested. Just my thoughts. I don't know all the facts about the situation, but I do know if you show up anywhere on school property with a firearm, you will be immediately arrested. At Thursday's meeting, members of the public, some of them parents who live in the communities outside the 54 district, including Waterville and Guilford. Now these are towns surrounding the state capital, Augusta, which is extremely Democratic. There's a lot of Democratic people out there, mostly in the higher, like school board, city officials, and then obviously you have the governorship, Mills, Democratic. They're probably Democratic, but it's also a really, really hard working class over there. So it's surrounded. It's like if you could think of a middle circle of Democrats surrounded by a bigger circle of Republicans. That's pretty much what it's like. Not to feed into the whole left and right BS. But Waterville and Guilford sat in the Skowhegan area high school cafeteria, their cell phones ready to record public comment portions of the meeting. Two men unfueled in a banner that read, "Unmask our kids," in big red letters. Vicki Wolford, a parent in the district, showed up to defend her husband, Wayne, who regularly attends school board meetings and argues that masks are damaging to the kids. Police recently issued Wayne Wolford a trespassing notice that bans him from the school board meetings for a year. The only threat Wolford made was to have board members arrested for child abuse. Vicki Wolford said she urged everyone to come together and put our children's health first. I mean, that's a reasonable thing to do. If you're worried about your kids, kids come first. Like that. Proudly displayed for everyone to see. But if you, the whole mask mandate thing, it isn't, especially the school board superintendents imposing it, that's not for the kids. It's not for the kids' safety. They feel more comfortable, not the kids, the adults feel more comfortable having the children wear the masks because not only is everyone else doing it, they feel like it's the right thing to do and they feel like they have to do it. Personally, I don't think it's all exactly right, especially smaller children, to be wearing a mask. Kind of, they're still developing, and they need to be able to see facial expression. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's gonna happen to these kids. But you never know. You could be developing a whole generation of sociopaths, or you know. To go on, the Warford's son also spoke, saying he wished the board would listen more to those presenting information that show masks are harmful. I think maybe this kid attends the school. I have trouble breathing. Like a bunch of other kids in my class, why won't you let us have a choice not to wear masks, he said. Blanchard, who leads anti-vaccine group, also opposed the universal masking policy. Blanchard was also one of thousands who traveled to Washington, D.C. on January 6th to attend the Save America rally, where former President Donald Trump was speaking. I would normally thank you guys for letting me speak, but I know you are only doing this because you have to. Really, members of the school board and throughout the state of Maine have tried to muzzle our voices, just like they've muzzled our children, he said. Echoing some of Wayne's Wilford's messages at recent meetings, Blanchard said parents have presented actual evidence and data about the dangers of masking children. They've asked the school district for research that proves masking is safe and effective and haven't received any data, he said. Chairperson Lydia Quinn pointed to handouts with data available in the back of the cafeteria, though Blanchard interrupted her. False facts, he said. Now, COVID-19 might be a new variant, but novel coronaviruses have been around forever, basically. And all the medical masks say does not help prevent the spread of coronavirus. It's not specifically saying COVID-19. It's basically telling you that it doesn't help prevent the spread of the common cold, things like that. It's meant for surgeons and doctors to be wearing if they're operating on someone to reduce the transmission of bacteria so that their patient doesn't get a severe life-threatening infection. This is basically what it's for. And these kids are sitting around, kids are gross. They're disgusting. And they fidget. And they don't think about things. They drop it on the floor. They touch it. They're constantly playing with it. If anything, all that bacteria, instead of it just being on their hands and touching their face every once in a while, they're touching the mask and they're stomping it around on the floor, putting it back on their face, holding all of it on their face. And I'm not saying that that's going to cause anything or won't. Make what you will with that information. An angry group, some members donning masks and clothes with the phrase, "Let's go Brandon," left the meeting after a public comment section about 15 minutes in. Evidence about the benefits of masking has been available for months, and it's available in the district website, Moody said. There are no secrets, he said. The reality is that some people disagree with it. That's a fact of public policy. There are times where boards like this one have to make decisions that not everyone agrees with. Moody has taken research and data provided meeting attendees who oppose masking and sharing it with the local school district's doctor. He said Friday, He wants it to be clear that the school district is listening. I didn't see the exchange being heated. Where we've seen issues is people actually disrupting the meeting, he said. Adding that some of the people shouted and interrupted board members previously, the kind of disruption that impedes the board's ability to conduct business. Several occasions is what typically lead to trespassing notices, he said. SAA 54, Region 54, school region, has not had to close entire schools this year. Though some classrooms have been sent home, Region 54 serves Cannon, Cornville, Mercer, Norridge Rock, Smithfield, and Skowhegan. Moody doesn't want people to come to the meetings and speak in opposition of the board characterized as bad. But he also wants facts, evidence, and expertise to be the primary drivers in district decisions, he said on Friday. I think that happens far too much in our society now, and the last thing I want for us is an educational institution to do anything that sends the message to our kids that all opinions don't matter, or that any group of people is better or lesser than another. The board agreed to keep the universal masking policy in place Thursday. And this is pretty recent. This is new news. Members reviewed the policy each month based on recommendations from Moody. So it's probably not going to be looked at again until the end of next month. And when they said that they don't want people to think that all opinions are not just or whatever, the parents are asking for facts, not opinions. Do you feel like people should be wearing masks? I don't know.